Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. It has finally happened. Christina Miller is out as the president of Cartoon Network. Starting in 2020, Christina Miller will be stepping down as the president of Cartoon Network. This announcement came today from Cartoon Network, and according to them, it's kind of Christina Miller's leaving. It's her own free will. She's not being fired or anything. She's just stepping down. And her quote is, "This is a decision. This is not a decision I came to lightly. It's one of the hardest I've had to make in my career. Ultimately, it feels like the right time for me to leave and take a little time to think about what comes next. But I do so feeling immensely proud of the work we've done together and so grateful for the experience." Now, this is obviously, according to them, according to the network, she's leaving on her own terms. It's been reported that AT&T, after their acquisition of Time Warner, they asked Miller to stay, but she opted to leave instead because Warner Media's leadership has been changing. Whatever the case may be, because a lot of times companies, they say that the people left on their own free will, but in reality they were fired. Whatever the case may be here, it honestly does not matter. She's gone. That is the main thing. So you're probably wondering, who's going to be the next president of Cartoon Network? Who is going to take over the network? Because arguably, not arguably, honestly, definitely, since Christina Miller took over Cartoon Network in 2014, it's pretty much been on a downhill spiral since then. It's just it hasn't been good. We haven't been getting that good of shows from the network anymore. And to be honest with you, I know the network's not targeted to me anymore. I'm not their main target. But I want to say back in the early 2000s, if you were watching a show on Cartoon Network with your parents or with your older siblings or grandparents or whoever it may be, they could actually enjoy the shows that you were watching. Like, they weren't just, oh yeah, this show, only a kid's gonna like it. After that, if you watch it, it's pretty much garbage. No, the shows were like Ed and Eddie, Foster Home for Imaginary Friends. I remember some older family members watching the shows with me, and they actually enjoyed the show. Hopefully this becomes the case again with Cartoon Network, because I would say right now everything's kind of dumbed down, and not everything, but majority of the shows are dumbed down, and they're really just targeted towards kids, when it should be that, yes, your main audience is children, but that shouldn't be that shouldn't make it the case that, oh, our target market is children, so let's make our shows not as polished, not as thought out, just like stuff for children to, think is cool and watch and whatever, and not much plot significance or anything. Um, that's not okay. So hopefully the new president actually gets some more quality shows in there. So right now, all we know is that Michael O'Whalen, I'm probably saying that wrong, definitely saying that wrong, he will serve as the interim president until they find someone to replace her. How long is this going to take? I honestly have no idea. But Michael seems like, he may be someone good to lead the network. Here's the thing. It's kind of good and bad with him, in my opinion. He's been the long-term creative director at Cartoon Network. He was put into place in 1996, and he ran content development and oversaw programming at the network in the mid-2000s. So pretty much he, creative director of Cartoon Network since 96. That's when it was incepted. So every single show that came out, he is a huge part of it. And obviously the programming from the mid 2000s, he oversaw that. That is arguably the best time period of Cartoon Network was the early 2000s. They had the best shows and everything. But here's the little downside. In 2014, he was named the Chief Marketing Officer of Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Boomerang, and TBS. Now, here's the thing. Since Christina Miller, maybe she had to do with this as well. Since she was put in place, the marketing of the network just kind of went to the trash can. It is absolute garbage since Stu Snyder left. You know, how much of that has to do with Michael O'Whalen? I don't know. I mean, he is the chief marketing officer, but obviously, if his boss is Christina Miller and she doesn't like the way he's doing things, she's going to tell him, and he has to listen to her, or he's going to get fired. So it's good and bad with him. It's good because he's in charge. He oversaw pretty much majority of the shows that came out at the network, and he was in charge of the ones in the mid 2000s. That's great. Those were some of the best shows they ever had. But then the thing is that also he was the chief marketing officer when 100% of this is the worst period that Cartoon Network's ever had, and he's the guy who oversaw the marketing for that. And the marketing, when you don't, it's gotten better lately, but when you don't advertise in episodes coming out, a new episode of a show, how could you expect anybody to tune in? Anyways, hopefully, we'll see. I mean, maybe he'll be good for now, but I doubt he's going to be there long since they specifically said he's the interim. He's the interim director of Cartoon Network. He's the interim president, rather. I doubt he's going to stay for long since they specifically said interim. But, if he does a good job, sometimes if an interim manager does a good job at a job, if higher management likes him, they'll keep him as the full-time president. But only time will tell with that, and we'll see who becomes the next president of Cartoon Network. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below if you're really happy to see Christina Miller leave the network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.